Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's Andrade and Irwin back at it again. No, it's been a while. We've had some technical difficulties, some sickness involved. We won't get it. We're not gonna give details, but we're back. We're gonna bring back an old series we did leading up to the NBA bubble.
The NBA Profile Series.
Hell yeah, we're gonna go through every single NBA team this time.
Even the dumpster fires.
Even the dumpster files, all the way until hopefully we'll have every video out before or by the time the NBA season debuts. The way we're gonna go is we're gonna do a video for the bottom 5 in the West, a video for the bottom 5 in the East, and then every team following that gets their own individual video. And come on, they deserve the credit. And we're going to go from bottom to top. The rankings that we'll follow from bottom to top are the ones that the NBA Power Rankings provided. So in case you guys want to bitch about that, that's the order that we're going to go through.
Don't blame us.
Exactly.
NBA.com.
And the 5 teams we're going to start off are going to be in the West. And it includes the Oklahoma City Thunder, Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Irwin's favorite team of all time, New Orleans Pelicans.
What, man? Come on, man. No, man. I like Zion, but not that much. But anyways, man, like he said, we're starting with the bottom 5 teams, and the first in the bottom is the OKC Thunder.
Oh,
What's
man,
up with that,
so
man?
much to say about this franchise.
So, hey, just to make it very clear, guys, we're going to talk about, what their floor is and what their ceiling is.
That's true,
with the OKC Thunder going first.
All right. Look, they traded away Chris Paul and Steven Adams. They let Danilo Gallinari sign to Atlanta. And then they added George Hill and Al Horford, which... bleh. And then, to be honest... Everyone knows that OKC right now is in a rebuilding, renovating stage of the franchises. So regardless of last season's success, they're still staying on that path. So I don't expect much from them this season. However, the future is bright. They got endless picks for the decade, a possible star in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they also got Alexei Pokusevsky, a 7-footer with guard-like skills. So that'd be interesting to watch out for. And it just makes this team one to keep an eye on, at least, watch some games during the season, but not one to really consider for the season. Ceiling wise for 2021 season is, I think their ceiling is they reach or get close to reaching the playoffs.
Hell no.
That's the ceiling.
Hell no.
And then their floor is obviously ranking amongst the worst teams. But with the amount of picks that they have, I do have hope, and I expect them, at least at some point in this decade, to win a championship or be a championship contender. Some point this decade, just not this year.
Hey, look, OKC fans, look, I know I was wrong last time, when we did this. However, this time, look, man, even the most optimist Thunder fan, let's be real over here.
For real.
Ceiling for this season is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shows flashes that he's a superstar in the making.
That would be sick.
And that the first round pick that they got shows those guard skills that everybody got excited about. And look, they're going to have a losing season, but it's going to be an exciting losing season and with some hope in the future. And maybe they can get maybe a second round pick or first round pick for whatever veterans they have and add to that collection. The floor is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't perform like, we want him to perform. He takes a step back. Mm-hmm. Their first round pick doesn't look as good as he did. And it's not looking good for the future for the Thunder. But hey, that's almost impossible. You know why? Because the Thunder have all the first round picks of the NBA teams for the next 5 years.
And I do want to mention something. It just crossed my mind as you were saying is they have young players. They have a bunch of first round picks. Yes, we will make jokes about George Hill and Al Horford getting added on, but they are, especially Al Horford, is a great mentor and veteran to have in the locker room and mentor a lot of these young guys, even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Obviously, they don't play the same position, but mentor in so many other ways on and off the court. And that can go a far way in helping develop your star and other young players on the squad.
Yeah, it should be an interesting season, man. But hey, let's move on. Next team on the list is the Sacramento Kings. What do you think, Andrade?
Sacramento, man. Two things I think about.
Seems like they've been in the dumps for forever.
Too long, man. Too long. I mean, it's so long that this season they may tie the Clippers for the longest playoff drought in NBA history. Damn. So with that being said, I do not expect them to have a great season this year. However, Buddy Hield, De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley III, Tyrese Haliburton, and Robert Woodard still make this a bottom team that's pretty watchable in games. They do have a GM in Monte McNair, so they may try to finally shift the culture in this organization into a winning one. But again, I don't think this is going to be the season for them to do it. I think maybe this is the experimental season for them to, like, try different things and see where they go moving forward for the next 3 to 5 years. And especially with the loss of Bogdanovic, I think that says, like, yo, it is what it is. Let's just see what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with that being said, their ceiling for me is barely missing the playoffs. Floor, just like OKC, ranking among the worst teams in the entire league.
I'm surprised that you finally were able to pronounce Bogdanovic's name clearly right. But hey, guys,
practice makes perfect.
Hey, the NBA season is about to start, guys. So appreciate if you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. This is the beginning of, we're gonna have plenty of content coming up for the season.
It's gonna blow up.
Yes, sir. But let's move it on to the Kings. Look, they actually had a good first round pick. They picked up Tyrese Halliburton in number 12. When he was projected to beat number 5. So it's already a good spot.
Yeah, he was a top 5 talent.
And look, believe it or not, the loss of Bogdanovic might be a blessing in disguise. You know what? More for Buddy Hield. He's going to get more usage. He's going to get more play time. And we're going to see.
Don't sleep on Buddy.
You can't sleep on them.
3-point champ.
They have a nice young core. Buddy. They have
Fox. People sleep on Fox, man. I think he's one of the more underrated point guards in the league. He's fast.
People sleep on him, and he has room to grow. He was one of the worst shooters,
young as hell
shooters. He was one of the worst 3-point shooters, and guard wise.
Yeah.
And, if he can get a little bit better about that,
watch
out. And Marvin Bagley as well. But look, the way I was gonna go for the Kings, ceiling wise, is if all the young guys take a step forward in their development. Then,
this could be a roster to.
Then look, man,
out.
I don't see any reason why not. The Kings can get close to having a 500 season, maybe a winning season for the first time in a while. Are they gonna make the playoffs? Hell no.
And there's a lot going for Sacramento. We could do another video about this, but their location makes them a viable franchise. That if they can set the right organization and have a winning team, I could see stars going there. You know what I mean?
We'll see, man.
It's in California, bro.
Let's make the playoffs first.
Facts.
We'll get from there.
Jumping ahead of ourselves.
Floor is that all these guys take a step back, and the Kings are looking like like the Kings that we've seen since Mike Bibby left. Dumpster fire. But moving on to the next squad, this is actually a surprise because this is not a dumpster fire franchise.
Hell no.
This is a first-class organization.
Yes.
We're talking about the San Antonio Spurs.
Hell yeah.
What's up with them?
Look, you said it yourself, bro. The Spurs being in the bottom discussion is just weird for most NBA fans. But look, that's the cycle of an NBA franchise or any sports professional franchise. It's, circle of life. It's circle of sports. And it's a shame that it happens now for the Spurs as Popovich is, reaching the tail end of his career. The man is in his 70s or 80s. I think late 70s or early 80s. And it's like...
I don't think he's that old.
It is what it is, dude. He's pretty old. And maybe I give him a few years. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll wiki it after we record.
I'm like, yo, I know he looks like Santa Claus, but shit, man, not like that either.
Yeah, but on top of Popovich, it does suck too that DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge are also wasting valuable years of their career and their youth stuck there. But
there's not that much youth left in those
but that's the thing, like the past couple of years, and it's just like until they get traded or this is their final year in both their contracts, they're just stuck. And it kind of says a lot about the Spurs. They're just stuck. However, they got Devin Vassell and Trey Jones, who are considered good draft pickups for the Spurs, who are known to having a good player development program. So I'm sure they'll figure out a way that they fit into the team. San Antonio has a reputation for getting, random guys or okay pickups and turning them into stars or turning them into viable rotation players. So, never know. Right now, they're still not going for that full rebuild. So I do think they're still going to compete. That's part of the San Antonio Spurs culture. Pop will never not compete. So Aldridge, DeRozan, DeJounte Murray, and Derek White in that roster, I do think that's going to help place their ceiling for me into making the playoffs, like 7th, 8th seed. So that's my ceiling for them for this year. And their floor, I really think their floor, like the worst they'll get is barely missing the playoffs. I don't think they're going to do worse than that this year.
Look, man, the way I was going to go with the Spurs in the bubble, when Derek White and Murray were playing a lot more minutes, it went 5-3. That's pretty good.
Murray kills it on 2K too.
Look, man, yeah, he does. Look, the question with the Spurs is going to be how much do the young guys play? Are the vets going to play a lot? The ceiling for them is that the young guys, Derek White, Murray, Walker, Poeltl, if they progress a step forward in the development and you can see, flashes like, hey, these are guys that we could build around for the future, and their vets play like vets that are in the final year of their contract and step it up. Yeah. I can't see any reason why not with Coach Pop that don't make the playoffs.
True.
Floor would be is that the young guys don't play as good as they did in the bubble. They take a step back in their development. The vets, they show their age. They don't play as good as they can. And it's looking like it's looking like a very long rebuild for the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
And Pop might retire. But hey, we'll see what happens. So next team that we're looking at, the Timberwolves.
North.
The Timberwolves.
Look, the Timberwolves. We got Karl-Anthony Towns,
Cat,
D'Angelo Russell, Ricky Rubio, and the 2020 #1 draft pick, Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
So this is a young team, but with defensive concerns.
Big time.
I see a team with potential to develop for the next few years. But this year, which has kind of become the rhetoric so far of what I've been talking about all these bottom teams, I don't believe much is going to happen. I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year, but maybe there's a surprise if Cat and D'Lo step up and can find a way to carry this team over the hump. And Rubio may help with his veteran presence, and then maybe they can help speed up some of the development for Anthony Edwards, because all three are vets in the league. They've all been here now for a minute, you know what I mean? Also, Cat's a special player. He had the highest true shooting percentage among 41 players with a usage rate of 25% or higher last season. And a couple years ago, or recently, he was the player that most GMs stated in a anonymous survey that's the player they would build their franchise around. Now, I do think that answer changes now, especially with someone like Luka in the league. But, it says a lot that he even got put into that conversation. Ceiling for me is I think they sneak into the playoffs. And floor is missing the playoff run for a franchise that is kind of known for wasting a star's valuable years, just like they did with Kevin Garnett missing playoff runs for so many years.
Look, man, when it comes to the Timberwolves, they got a lot of interesting young pieces. The question for the season is, how are these guys going to fit? The ceiling, if these guys mesh well, fit well, and they finally play some fucking defense, then yeah, not make the playoffs. The West is very tough to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I say
if they were on the East, I think we both have to.
They'll get close to being at 500. I give them that. Now, if the floor goes bad, these guys don't mesh any well. D'Lo and Cat don't mix up well. That's what I'm scared of. Anthony Edwards looks like a bust. Then it's gonna be the same story over again for the Timberwolves. Dumpster fire of a franchise.
Fire.
Horrible organization. What's gonna happen next? Babe. We'll see what happens. Now,
Last team,
and certainly not the least. This probably has the brightest future.
One of the most exciting ones of all the bottom teams.
I want to say brightest future because OKC has all the picks. I would say the New Orleans Pelicans. What's up with them?
All right, the Pelicans are obviously one of the more exciting bottom teams to watch out for because of the way they play, along with the potential of the young players they have, like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Zion Williamson. Now, the way they play, I bring it up because the Pelicans led the league in player movement, ranked second in ball movement, and ranked in the top 10 in pace in every season that Alvin Gentry was a coach. Now, a big reason for this is because I think he ranked first too in lobs, like far lobs, passes. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Baseball passes. There you go.
Alley-oops?
And not alley-oops, but baseball passes, like, full court passes.
Okay. Basketball, not baseball, bro.
Now this Pelican squad going into the season does have some notable changes, like getting Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe, which I do think are good additions. I don't know if they're going to push them over the hump, but they're good additions. Adams and Zions look like they could be one of the toughest front courts in the league. They're strong, rough players. They could take a bruising. For me personally, I think that'd be kind of cool to watch. It keeps me wanting to tune into their games because I like Steven Adams. I like the way he plays. He's not the best, big guy in the league, but he's legit and he's real. And then there's a lot of observation for the future with this Pelicans, but for this season, like I've said it before and I've said it again, I don't think we're gonna get there. Like, I don't think this is gonna be their year to make noise. I think maybe they'll make a little noise. Ultimately, it kind of all depends on Zion. And ceiling is sneaking into the playoffs. Floor is disappointing fans by missing it like they did in the bubble. Or even completely imploding with their first year together under Stan Van Gundy, who's like hit or miss as a coach.
What you got to take into consideration last year is that Zion Williamson was not healthy for most of the year. Here, coming into this season, they have a healthy Zion. They have a Brandon Ingram. They have Lonzo. They have, they got Steven Adams. Yes, they lost Drew Holiday, but you know, they're still gonna be pretty fine. But anyways, look, their ceiling is gonna be based on their health. If their young stars are healthy, I don't see any reason why not. With Stan Van Gundy as a veteran coach, then making the playoffs as a 7 seed.
For 8 seed.
I say 7 seed, 8 seed, and giving whoever they play in the first round a damn scare. Kind of like the Mavericks did, you know, versus the Clippers.
Bro, Adams and Zion are going to give everybody a scare when they cut through to the basket.
Now, the floor, what's going to be is that unfortunately Zion, I don't know, he comes fat, you know, to training camp, you know. Can't lay off the chicken nuggets.
A lot relies on Zion, to be
whatever
honest, man.
It's Zion, man. That's how polarizing of a player he is. You
Number
know?
1 pick for a reason.
Number 1 hyped pick, you know, because you saw, you know, when he got injured in Duke, like the Nike stock went down.
That was crazy.
I'm like, look, it's gonna go based on that. If Zion's not healthy, the youngsters are not healthy, it's gonna be a disappointing season, and the questions and sounds in New Orleans are gonna start getting loud.
Facts.
But anyways, guys, hey, look. We appreciate. Hey, look, that's the bottom 5 teams of the West. We appreciate all the love and the hate. You guys let us know what you think about in the comments. We'll catch you guys soon. But and catch us on TikTok, Twitter, Insta. That's very important. On Ball Talk
Deep, where we talk deep about ball.
We'll catch you guys soon. But for now,
take care.